Today we're going to discuss about time and place of performance. Then what is time as essence of the contract? The last topic, contracts which need not be performed. The very first topic is time and place of performance. The legal rules related to time and performance and manner of performance of a contract are given in section 46 to 50 of the Contract Act. So we are going to discuss about that. The very first point is where no time is specified and also no request is to be made by the promisee. So this is a situation where there is time is not specified and there is no request made by the promisee. So according to section 46 of the Contract Act, where the time for performance is not specified in the contract and the promiser himself has to perform the promise without any request or demand by the promisee in this regard. That is, the contract in such cases must be performed within a reasonable time. The question of what is reasonable time, it depends upon the circumstances of the case. So I'm just concluding, when no time is specified and no request is made by the promisee, the promiser has to perform the contract within a reasonable time, even though it is not requested by the promisee. Then the next one is where time is specified but no request is to be made by the promisee. When a promise is to be performed on a particular day and the promiser has agreed to perform it without any request by the promisee, in such cases the promiser may perform the contract on a particular day during the usual hours of the business at the place at which promise ought to be performed. So it says that when time is specified but no request is made by the promisee. In such a situation, the promiser has to perform it without any request by the promisee. For example, A promises to deliver goods at B's warehouse on the 1st March. I'm just repeating this example. A promises to deliver goods at B's warehouse on 1st March. On that day, A brings the goods to B's warehouse, but after the usual hours for closing it, and they are not received. Here, A has not performed his promise. So, even though it is not requested by the promisee, the promiser has to perform it on the time specified. Then, the third situation where time is specified but a request is to be made by the promisee. According to section 48 of the Contract Act, when a promise is to be performed on a certain day, but the promiser has not made himself responsible to perform it without a request or demand by the promisee in this regard. So what to do when the time is specified but a request is to be made by the promisee? In such cases, it is the duty of the promisee to apply for performance at proper place and within the usual hours of business. Let me explain through an example. A promised to deliver 1000 cycles to B on a certain day with the condition that B will make an application for the place and hour of performance of it. So I'm just repeating this example. A promised to deliver 1000 cycles to B on a certain day with a condition that B will make an application for the place and the hour of performance. Here B is liable to apply. That is, to ask for performance of a promise at a proper place and within the usual hours of business. Then the fourth situation, where no place is specified, also no request is to be made by the promisee. So according to section 49 of the Contract Act, where the place for performance is not fixed in this contract and no request or demand is to be made by the promisee in this regard, in such a situation, it is the duty of the promiser to apply the promise to fix or decide a reasonable place for the performance of the promise and then to perform. Where no place is specified and no request is made by the promisee, then it is the duty of the promiser to perform it by fixing a reasonable place for the performance. For example, A undertakes to deliver 100 cars to B on a fixed day. Here, A undertakes to deliver 100 cars to B on a fixed day. A must apply to B to appoint a reasonable place for the purpose of receiving it and must deliver it to him at such place. So it is the duty of the promiser to apply the promise to fix or decide a reasonable place for the performance of the promise. The last situation, performance in the manner or at the time prescribed or sanctioned by the promisee. In this case, performance of promise must be made in the prescribed manner and prescribed time. Where performance and the manner of performance and the time is prescribed, then it should be performed in the prescribed manner and prescribed time. For example, A, who is a creditor, requests his debtor B for payment of rupees 5,000 by check. Here A instructs B to send the check by post. So B posted the check and as desired by A. Hell, the debtor has performed in the manner prescribed and sanctioned by the promisee. Where performance, the manner of performance and the time is prescribed, then it should be performed accordingly. So these are the legal rules related to time and place of performance. The next topic is time as essence of the contract. What is time as an essence of the contract? Time as an essence of the contract means time is an essential factor and therefore the concerned parties must perform their promises within the stipulated time. It says that if in the contract time is mentioned, then it should be performed according to the stipulated time. If one party fails to perform his promise in time, then there arises a question, that is, can the other party be in a position to cancel the contract? Can the other party cancel the contract? The answer depends upon whether in such a case time was or was not essence of the contract. So the other party can cancel the contract according to the nature of the contract, whether in such a contract time was an essence or was not the essence of the contract. So time is an essential part of the contract. So the concerned parties must perform the promise within the stipulated time. So next, there arises a question. What is time as an essence of the contract and what are the situations in which time is not the essence of the contract? So here I'm going to discuss some situations or some circumstances where time is always considered to be the essence of the contract. The very first one is where the parties have expressly agreed to treat time as an essence of the contract. The first situation or first circumstances is that where parties to the contract have agreed upon the statement or have agreed upon that to treat time as an essence of the contract, then the parties have to perform it within the time. I mean, they have to complete the contract within time. When parties made a expressly agreed to treat time as an essence of the contract. Then where the delay operates as an injury to the party. If one party is making delay and that is considered as an injury to the party, then in that situation time is considered as an essence of the contract. Where the delay operates as an injury to the party, in that circumstances time is considered as an essence of the contract. Essence of the contract means both the parties have to complete the contract within time. Then the third situation, where the nature and necessity of the contract requires the time to be the essence of the contract. Where the nature of the contract says that time is an essence of the contract, then they have to complete it on that time. Then, and what are the situations where time is not considered as an essence of the contract? The very first circumstance is that where the parties have not expressly agreed to treat time as an essence of the contract. If parties in the contract says that it is not compulsory to complete the contract in time, then in that situation time is considered as not an essence of the contract. And the delay in performing the contract does not have an effect as an injury to the party. If one party is making if both the parties are making delay, then and there is no injury to the parties concerned, then in that situation also time is not considered as an essence of the contract. Then the nature of the contract does not establish that the time as an essence of the contract. The contract is in such a nature that where time is not an important thing. So in that situation also the time is not considered as an essence of the contract. The last topic is contracts which need not be performed. A contract need not be performed when its performance become impossible. If the performance of the contract is impossible, then it should not be performed. Then when the parties to the contract agree to substitute a new contract for it or to cancel or alter it. If the parties in the contract are making alteration or cancelling the contract, then it should not be performed. I mean the old one. Then when the promisee releases from its obligations or excuses for its performance either wholly or in part or extends the time for its performance or accepts any other satisfaction in its place. If the promisee releases his obligation or he is not interested to perform, then either wholly or in part, in that case also contract which need not be performed. Then when the contracts become illegal, it should not be performed. And the last situation where the failure of the performance has been caused by the promisee's neglect or refusal, the promiser will be excused. Failure of performance has been caused by the promisee. If promise is not performed the contract due to his neglect or refusal, in that situation the promiser can excuse the contract.